New studio. Let's chat about Ukraine. I have never in my life seen anything quite so bizarre as how Ukraine is being portrayed by the media right now. And I'm not just talking about the fake news, the ghost of Kiev, or the massacre of Snake Island stuff. No, I am talking about how Ukraine is being ideologically portrayed by the press. Anyone who has spent any amount of time with Slavic friends or family know that most people from that region of the world are highly conservative. They are traditionalist and even far right in some cases. And I actually mean far right, not, ooh, I don't like socialism that much. Bam, you're on a Nazi list on Twitter. No, actually far right. And as for the general population, it is family first, community first, closed borders, Christian, Orthodox, like hardcore. 71% of Ukrainians are Christian. More than that, I think. Gay marriage isn't even legal in the country. Their polling for being anti-homosexuality is through the roof. In Pew Research polling, when it came to the importance of gender equality in Ukraine, they ranked second last, only defeated by, drumroll, Russia. And all the way from Croatia to Ukraine, they are staunchly anti-communist, for good reason. Yet, if you read media headlines about Ukraine, you would think this were one of the most progressive countries on the damn planet. It's all about getting those gay soldiers involved. We'll have that artificially trending on Twitter all week. How women are out here girl bossing it up on the battlefield, even if they are just holding airsoft rifles. Zelensky has even just revised history by stating Ukraine was previously a safe haven for Jews during the Holocaust. Not true. And just about every single massive progressive influencer on Twitter, Facebook, wherever you are, have draped themselves in Ukrainian flags like it is their new identity.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks since I transformed into a Ukraine guy, and gotta say that I'm loving my new personality. Will you guys denounce Russia? Oh, you're still telling people to stay at home and get vaccinated? Oh, no, it's cool. I mean, yeah, whatever works for you, dude. Ukraine for life. Well, you know what I mean, for a couple weeks till we get the next one. This was Putin. I'd just sort of give him one of these, maybe one of these. I was a big Palestine guy. I was a big Afghanistan guy. What's going on there now? Yeah, actually, pretty good question. I haven't really checked in on it.
And what this has resulted in is a bunch of right-wingers observing this and getting super weirded out, wondering, is Ukraine this massive globalist progressive nation? And you know what? Maybe their leaders are. But as for the Ukrainian people, the actual people living in the country, this could not be further from the truth. So what the hell are the media doing? Why are they putting up this false portrayal? Well, I think there is a very good explanation for that, and we will get right into it after a quick thank you from our sponsor, Noble Gold. The Economist financial newspaper has said the stock market lost over $1 trillion so far this year. You heard that right, $1 trillion. Facebook has fallen out of the top 10 tech stocks, and all of the markets have the jitters. Like you, people are worried, really worried, except those with gold and silver as their backup plan. They know that with a precious metal IRA, they will be fine. Noble Gold has thousands of clients who have safely invested with them. Most heard an ad like this and called the experts. Not a call center, but specialists who will give you your options. And for the month of March, with any qualified IRA above $20K, you will get a 3-ounce silver American Virtue coin or a 5-ounce America the Beautiful silver coin for anything over $50K. You know what to do. Call 877-646-5347 now to find out more, or visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com. So, as many of us know, the media have spent the last few years breeding a bunch of little psychopaths who are practically incapable of sympathizing with anyone who is not politically aligned with them. Calls for or celebrations of death from progressives towards Republicans are almost a daily occurrence. Worse, the question of whether you should be allowed to physically assault someone for their politics is somehow up in the air for the media. This came to light with the whole punch a Nazi fiasco in 2017, when Richard Spencer was punched in the face unprovoked, and massive amounts of people said this was Perfectly A-okay, because violence against Nazis is always justified. A concerning precedent, considering today's definition of Nazi is so broad it could include most of the men who landed on the beaches of Normandy to actually fight Nazis. But none of these considerations stopped the media and made them ponder the potential consequences of celebrating political violence. Nope, they just went full steam ahead. Richard Spencer got punched. You can thank the Black Bloc for that. There was video after video, tweet after tweet, just trying to justify this. Massive comedians were even out here mocking the idea of having a discussion at all about whether you should punch Nazis or not, that it should just be an automatic yes, with no question.
And then Richard Spencer got punched in the face, right? Which was an amazing moment in comedy history. And then every white liberal came out of the woodworks going, I don't know if that's what we should be doing. Should we really be applauding someone for punching a Nazi? Is that how we want to have political conversations? Shouldn't we hear people out? If you punch a Nazi, it doesn't make you as bad as one. You know what we should do with Nazis? We should debate them, and we should defeat them in the marketplace of ideas. I don't really know where that is. I would like to defeat Nazis on planet Earth first. People get very upset. Oh, do you support political violence? Do you want me to support political? Just slow down, okay? Do I support political violence? We're talking about punching fascists in the face, not suicide bombing, okay? Relax. Why do I support political? Why the fuck are you a volunteer Nazi safety advocate is my question.
So lo and behold, fast forward 5 years, and here comes good old Vladimir Putin out of nowhere with a spicy speech about how he needs to immediately denazify Ukraine. It's a total disaster over there, full of radicals. They just need to be eliminated immediately. And worse, Putin's got more than just a Pepe pin to prove it. They've got full-on examples of battalions supporting Nazism. They've got soldiers with black sun pins over their uniforms, videos of them Sieg heiling with swastikas tattooed. The nation even named a Nazi a national hero at one point. And I know what you may be thinking. Come on, Lauren. You can't be serious here. Their leader, Zelensky, is Jewish. Lauren, it's only a handful of rogue battalions. Lauren, there's only some people wearing black sun badges. They don't represent everyone. Trust me, I know. Of course I know this. I've been saying this stuff for years. But do you think that matters to the average progressive? When has nuance ever mattered to progressives? One Confederate flag at a rally in Canada with hundreds of thousands of people got the truckers labeled white supremacists overnight, extremists that needed to be eliminated through the Emergencies Act. Jews are called Nazis all the time in America and Canada when they have right-wing views. That never saved anyone from an accusation here. In the modern witch hunt against perceived Nazis in the West, there is no room for nuance or explanation. There is no room for, oh, that's just a small fringe group within the larger group supporting Trump. No! The media have spent years using one picture, one badge, one flag to totally delegitimize entire groups of people as Nazis and far right, censor them and attack them. So in large part, when the media try to sit here and try to go through all the little nuances of how different individual opinions matter in this country, about how, Putin might be exaggerating or blowing things up, there's a larger context. It looks ridiculous compared to how they treat people in their own countries. And I think they're starting to realize that and realize it's just easier to invent a new identity for Ukraine than try to defend the one they actually have. And if any information gets in the way of that, like NATO posting the Ukrainian soldier with a black sun badge accidentally, well, they'll just delete it and move on. Make a story about how gay people are killing it in the Ukrainian military, revise both history and present to match the current narrative, and God forbid, for a second, they acknowledge that, while the Nazis are a minority group in the country, the majority of Ukrainians are still right-wing nationalists, as many people are in that region, because if they were to even acknowledge a truth as simple as that, and what should be a not shocking truth or surprising truth, well, then Putin might as well be right. Because most Westerners who consume liberal media think that nationalism is akin to Nazism anyways. They think being right-wing makes you associated with Nazis or the far right. So Putin, I suppose, would just be taking punch a Nazi theory to a geopolitical level, invade a Nazi to denazify them. Forget any debate over nuance, any debate over whether it's just one person in a larger group. Nope, just punch them. Just eliminate them, like Trudeau would after he sees a Confederate flag, right? It is really tragic to watch the media have to do this, to have to behave this way, because what it tells you is unless Ukrainians are generally perceived as progressive and their country as progressive, many Westerners would simply be incapable of sympathizing with them in their struggle. The media cannot portray them as what they actually are, lest the public tell the Ukrainian people they deserve to be attacked, as they tell so many conservatives and right-wingers who have been assaulted over the years that they were asking for it with their bigoted opinions. Imagine if the media were constantly writing about the Azov battalion or constantly highlighting the black sun and far-right symbolism on Ukrainian uniforms the way they search for far-right symbols in everything from OK signs to TPUSA stages in the West where it doesn't even exist. How many left-wingers would drop that flag in their bio on a dime? If you genuinely have strong convictions about how invading other countries is wrong, or about how political violence is wrong, it should never have been up for question or debate if certain worldviews deserve it or not for you. The media should be able to defend nationalists and right-wingers rather than having to invent or ignore the ideology of the people they are defending to make it consistent with the narrative of the good people and the bad people they've created in their minds. It's a terrifying world that we are headed to, where many of the media's narratives are reaching difficult ideological crossroads, and they are doing as much mental gymnastics as they possibly can to keep their stories straight, and yet even as their house of cards gets shaky, it still seems to be holding up, with so many stuck in this ideological trap, just waiting for the press to tell them what they should support, what they should say, what they should believe about the world with little question, and they're getting such a distorted perception of what the world and people in different countries are like. And it's just going to get so much worse as we enter this multipolar world where you have China, Russia, India, all of these countries with their own set of media, and then the West with our set of media, and none of it communicating or getting through to each other. And all we can really do is hope that the cognitive dissonance of our own press catches up with them eventually, and people start to actively do the legwork and look for other information, whether that be local Ukrainian media, Indian media, Chinese media even, just to see what they're saying. I think that's extremely important, because our press, I'm not saying the global press are good. I think everyone's spinning a bit of a story and a narrative, some worse than others, but so are our press. And if we don't recognize that, we're going to be as ideologically stupid as the indoctrinated people we make fun of in North Korea or Russia or anywhere in the world. It's going to get to that point. And I appreciate all of you who watch my videos, who look for and actively seek other opinions, not just my own, but many other creators with different perspectives. I hope you keep that up. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit like, comment below, share it, and I will see you all next time.